Grinding Granny's gears.
That's right. So grinding Granny's gears. There we go. I spelled it out for the 19th time. So basically, we'll roll into that now. So we will talk a little bit more about that. But Granny, what's been annoying you this week?
Well, this week, what's annoying me is a couple of the YouTube channels that I do follow, reselling ones. I've actually stopped watching them, and there are a couple of popular ones in particular.
That's where all my views are gone.
No, well, look, Hey Fro Sells is probably the one that really comes to mind, right? Because it's so negative. Every video has this really negative connotation, and I just thought, I got to a point and I thought, I don't want negativity. I want positivity, and I want something that's going to, help me get through my day, not bag out, like, okay. So as an example, so these are some titles, right? The last few videos he's done. So we've got eBay just keeps taking from sellers. Then we've got the previous one is leadership resigns, viewer theory on how eBay is manipulating sellers. Then the previous one to that was eBay's algorithm is a slow learner and not your friend. Then the previous one to that is tired of eBay's traffic manipulation games. I mean, look, there's all, exactly. There's some things in those titles that are relevant topics in the sense that we know that some of that stuff's happening, but I kind of feel like we know it's happening. It keeps on happening. We kind of need to get over it a little bit and pull up our big girl pants and our big boy pants and, like have a bit of positivity in our lives instead of always, banging on. And we can't blame eBay for everything. I mean, I know there are days like today is a dead traffic day. Yeah, today's a dead traffic day on eBay. Had a really good day yesterday. Had a really good day on eBay and Depop yesterday. Today's dead as a doornail. But that's what happens. I've known that pretty much since I started. Like that part of it's never changed. You're up and you're down. Yep, you're down.
We're gonna have another reseller coming after us now.
I know. Is that the same? Yeah. I for one love Hey Fro. So Hey Fro, say hello.
Yeah, look, I actually have been enjoying his content, but it's been really dark and heavy of late. And I mean, he's not the only one. So then you've got, so even Dark Thrifter, like a lot of his.
Calling out all the resellers.
It's so negative. I'm just saying, like, how about some happy, nice content? It doesn't. I mean, surely there's some good stuff if you're still reselling.
Doesn't get the views.
Well, yeah, but does it? But then how many people are like me that are feeling like, I don't want anything more negative today? Like, because if you're feeling a bit down yourself, well, if I wanted to watch something dark, I'll watch a bloody true crime podcast and watch about a serial killer. But I'm just saying, sometimes when you're feeling a bit low and a bit flat when you're reselling, you want a bit of a lift and you want a bit of happy content.
Yeah, and I
like
think
to know that everyone else is suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I suppose that's another section we could throw into the comment section down below. And we're going to end the first part here, and don't worry, I'll cut this bit out for the full episode. But if you do, how do you? What's your viewing preferences? Do you like the dark underbelly of eBay, or do you prefer up and bright videos of people in warehouses doing ASMR videos, or going thrifting for ASMR videos, which you can also find on my channel, so by all means check them out so I can get some of that sweet YouTube revenue. But and I kind of agree, Leanne, is that but I suppose what's your stance, Blake? Mine is kind of that if you're known for that, you got to kind of stay within that lane.
Yeah, there's sort of like two camps, really. There's the positive people that go thrifting and give like advice and stuff. And then there's the eBay news kind of people that are the more dark and dingy. So I think there's two different audiences altogether. Like there's that group that want to go, oh, woe is me. eBay is the worst thing in the world. It's going to be the death of me sort of thing. And then there's that other group of people that are just like, oh, I don't really care. I'm going to do this anyway kind of thing. And they enjoy watching that stuff, which I'm in that camp. I actually enjoy watching people find better stuff than me because I don't find much good stuff. So that's my preference. I don't like the dark and gloomy stuff.
Because there's always that risk, like that you can get a bit lost in some of that dark stuff, because when they're saying things like, oh, the traffic's down or whatever, and then you start digging into your traffic. I mean, you can go down a big rabbit hole that wastes so much of your time doing all that stuff. And I kind of feel that might be a little bit, it could be a bit damaging to people's psyche.
I think that's where the whole eBay reset thing originally came from anyway, was that whole something wrong with eBay, so I'm going to do something drastic to fix it sort of thing. And I fell into that. We all did. But we not fell into it, but we gave it a go, I think it's more.
Yeah.
And I think, I suppose it really naturally aligns with what personality you have, right? If you're a pessimistic person, you probably would enjoy those Hayfro videos and pre-mo, chemo videos and all those different things. Love both of those guys. Please don't come after me. I've got enough people chasing me at the moment. But the fact of the matter is that I suppose from my perspective and the way that I like running my business is analytical, right? So I kind of tend to look at that pessimistic point of view, like curious collections. Geez, I'll get that out in a second. They were talking about, like the US is bringing in an increase of 10 cents to the processing fee. So it's gone from 30 cents to 40 cents. So that's US. It's not, we pay 30 cents Australian. So we're probably paying about close to 15 to 20 cents US. So they're actually paying double the processing fee that we're paying at the moment. Like the I want to say Will, but I'm not too sure of that. We're going with Will, but he said that someone in the comment section said that extra 10 cents is that I'm done with eBay. I'm moving away from reselling this, because that's costing them X amount of sales. And if you've got 2,000 sales a year, or like they said, they've got 5,000 sales a year, that's an extra $500 that eBay is taking away for providing no extra service, right? So this is what I suppose I look from an analytical point of view. What people might say it's pessimistic, but and there's nothing wrong with like those videos where they're happy and go thrifting, and I suppose the rally routes and the hairy tornado videos and all those different things. So I tend to steer away from those videos unless I know those people personally, like Brad and Jazz, and I'll watch those just out of obligation. No, I'm joking. but the thing is that
they're more relevant for us anyway, because it's
that's right. But I suppose that like those are the videos I don't necessarily enjoy, where watching what other people pick up, because the likelihood, like where the Skylanders, right? I like presenting those ones because they're out there. That to go to Brad's latest video is that with the Formula One jackets, the likelihood of us going out finding those identical Formula jackets is nothing, right? So, but on the flip side is that. Yeah, like with the Skylanders, I suppose that that you could come across it. Because I've come across it numerous times.
You had to bring it in.
I love it.
I enjoy that kind of stuff, like you say, like the jackets and stuff, because it's sort of stuff that I don't find. So it's almost like I'm going on an adventure myself. But like I was just thinking, then when you were talking about the fees and stuff about that $5,000 or whatever, it's a lot extra and stuff. But I was sort of thinking about that's something that eBay's done, but you got different people. So you got like Hayfro, which is more doom and gloomy about it, but you got people like one that I can think about that's analytical, but also in a more positive light is J-Ride Flips. He's one that does that, and he's like, with returns or whatever, eBay siding with buyers and stuff. Don't let that, $30, $40, $50, or in that case, $5,000 with the extra fees stop you from making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that kind of thing. Like that's the sort of camp where I'm sort of leaning into.
Yeah, and I suppose and like I agree with what you're coming from, because I don't fall into one category or the other, right? So I suppose I would, always. Like I suppose I reference the auction professor, because he's the happy middle, right? Like, because he'll have a swipe at eBay, but then on the flip side, he'll show you stuff that he's found, and like kind of that. And I quite enjoy those videos because it's got both sides. Like, I don't necessarily. I still watch Hayfro. What's his first name? Jeff? Not Jeff.
Jeff. Yep.
Jeff. It is Jeff. So I watch Jeff. Because like I said, I quite enjoy his content. I've spoken to him numerous times, and I quite like him as a person. But I suppose if I was a brand new eBay or something along that, I probably wouldn't, go down that path. The same thing that Leanne was saying is that it's very depressing and doesn't shine a very good light. But I suppose, to be brutally honest, that's how business is. Like, business isn't always, rainbows and laughing and having a good time. You need to really prepare yourself for the bad times. And from my perspective, it kind of gives you that resilience that that something will happen. And like going back to what J-Ride Flips was saying, and that's a perfect example of what I was trying to get to next, Blake, is that eBay's a roller coaster. There's not like, I don't care what people say. There's no likelihood of just saying, all right, I'm going to wake up today and I'm going to make $500 profit. eBay doesn't do that. Like yesterday, I had, what did I say? I had a $1,400 day yesterday, but currently I'm on $0 across both stores.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, that like going back to that J-Ride Flips mentality, and this is not taking it away from anyone in particular, is that, and what Curious Collection said, what Will was saying is that's $500 out of his pocket a year. So they brought in $50,000 US last year, and that brought their annual income down by 1%. So all the cost of living prices and all these different things is that, yes, you can do that, but what's the likelihood of someone that just started eBay making hundreds of thousands of dollars on eBay, like J-Ride Flips? J-Ride Flips, is the exception to the rule, and that's what I want to bring attention to people, is that, just because you want to go full time and do all these different things, and follow your favorite YouTuber or your favorite octopus into full time employment on eBay, is that what you're looking at is the exception to the rule. But a lot of these people work 60, 70 hours a week, is that, myself included. I was working from 5 a.m. to possibly 9, 11 p.m. at night. Just to get stuff, and then there's no guarantee of return on investment. So you're doing 12, 13 hours a day. There's no guarantee that you're going to make any sales that day, because it really depends on the products you're getting. Like I said, and I don't. I suppose I look from a realistic point of view, is that I'm not selling a product to anyone. I'm not selling a dream, or I'm not selling a story. It's just a case that these are the analytical things that you need to be on top of, like your finances, your stock, and all these different things. Because like J-Ride Flips, I enjoy watching his videos, and I enjoy talking to him when we're on to Shane's Soda City Flips channel, when we pop onto that. But the things he finds at the thrift store mightn't necessarily be replicated across the board. I went out yesterday and I found one thing.
I think it's more the mentality of it, I think, is the biggest thing with that whole thing. Like, whether it's, don't let, that $50 then stop you from making hundreds of dollars, I guess. Then.
Well, that's
like,
right.
Because it's easy to throw your hands up in the air. Like, I did that the other day. I got like a $90 return. And for like 5 minutes, I was like, worst thing in the world. And then I'm, I made that money back up, and I was like, oh, it's not a big of a deal. Like, I can make that back. So the mentality is a good thing.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm coming from. Like, been a big fan of watching Jeff on JFro Sells and his stuff, and as you guys know, I love getting into the figures and delving deep into all that sort of stuff, and that's fine. I guess where I'm coming from is that, rather than coming up with this is the problem, and then this is how to get around it, or this is what you could do to fix it. Just of late, it just seems to have gotten like more negative and more negative and more negative. And like, I will go back to watching his stuff, but I'm just having a little bit of a break right now, because I just was finding a little bit too negative. And I think it's Josh Galt, for example. He was always very analytical and into the figures and stuff like that, and I loved it and got right into it. But then, on the flip side of that, he had other things that he was quite positive about. And I think that's where the thing is, not to get too negative.
And I think it's a reflection of the mental health of the person as well. And I might reach out to Jeff after this just to check base, because, like I said before, I'm pretty big on mental health. And and I noticed even Josh Gold, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, is that if you go back to his earlier episodes, and you can't because he's wiped them off his channel. But if you go back to the eBay Power Hour, hello Jeff, John and Josh, I'm going great with the names today. Maybe you'll have to cool down. I know. I'm happy.
You're too excited.
I was about to say, I'm finally over, Calamari 19. I'm feeling a lot better. I can't even get the words out. But if you go back to the earlier episodes, Josh is really vibrant and happy, and he's bouncing off the walls. He's almost like got to drink red cordial with a dose of ADHD. But if you progress through the episodes, you can see his demeanor changing. He's becoming more depressed. I don't want to use depression, because depression is quite a big word to use. But you can see a downturn in his demeanor and all these different things. So that's something you need to look out for. And, by all means, that if you know someone that, into reselling space, and, like we said before, it's quite a lonely adventure, and we do this because, we all enjoy it. I enjoy Granny's company, and that's it. But
don't be mean to Blake.
Well, I might as well live up to my reputation. But the thing is, I quite enjoy Blake and Granny's, and I enjoy everyone that I speak to, their company. But the fact of the matter is that, if you're doing it yourself and all these different things, and yet you are noticing that someone's having a bit of a downturn or feeling a bit flat, reach out to them, just ask them how they're going and all these different things. Because like Hayfro, if you go back to his earlier videos, he's always been on the edge of I suppose pessimistic. Like if you watch his previous
but there was.
But he's getting very dark now. That's what I'm saying. Is there might be a case I might reach out to him and see how he's going, and hopefully he's going well. It just might be just a mood he's going through, and obviously reflection.
And I mean, look, this is a bit of a plug for my Discord. At the same time, but
there's a weekly plug.
We're not up for the plugs yet. Jeez.
Look, one of the great things about it that I've discovered, and it's really sort of come to fore in the last week or so, is the community that it's built, like where people are actually becoming friends because they're getting to know each other. And it's not just that they're posting text messages. You're actually getting to talk to people just like we are talking now.
Yeah.
So you actually can go into one of the chat rooms and actually talk to people, whether you have your camera on or off. Doesn't matter. Because I just did my makeup this morning, so I did, put the camera on. But, you go in there, you're meeting people and getting to chat to people. And, some of the people that have been coming in regularly into those chat rooms have been saying that how great this is, because they're actually becoming more productive because they're having that interaction with other people that they weren't getting before. And I think that having a community when you're in an industry like we are is so important. You need to have some, whether it's in a Discord, like Grumpy Granny's Discord is a great thing, but whether it's in a Discord or whether it's through Instagram chat or whether it's through Messenger chat, some sort of interaction with other people that understand what you're doing, it's really good for
That's
you.
right. Yeah. And not, obviously I quite enjoy Grumpy Granny's chat, Discord as well. So by all means, join that. Just so I've got another person to harass. But there's also other platforms. So, if you're not a big fan of us, if you don't like our kind of content and all these different things, and you stumbled across this by accident because, got head forbid that, bloody YouTube's punched it out to you. But there's other Discord channels that probably suit everyone's niche. There's people that have, a certain perspective on different things, Granny's got a different one, I've got a different one, Blake's got a different one. So really finding the community that resonates with you. Like there's no correct answer, and there's no, to me anyway, there should be no reason to be not attached to all the communities if you can. If the communities, if they align with your principles and they align with your ethics and all those different things, by all means join more than one. That you don't have to, don't join sides. And this is what infuriates me in the reselling space. It's almost like little factions running around with spears and throwing things at people. But like I said, a big advocate. Mental health and your own well-being, financially, you need to look at it from a Maslow's perspective, right? So you need to have all these little things in place to be happy, so do what, look after yourself, mental health wise and financially, and don't get involved with anyone else if that affects you from that perspective. By all means, if you see someo's feeling a bit flat, reach out to them and ask them how they are. But anyway, getting on to our next topic, Blake, what's your 15
minutes?
we're going to move on to your
you needed a topic that was going to run, didn't you? And I provided it.
Right.
So,
that's exactly right. We're off the bandwagon.
Well, I can't show you anything because I didn't pull it out